But nothing has prepared me more than when I saw the clips for Skate Dad. I don't know if this is going to last, but Skate Dad, I really, really love Skate Dad. I really do. Well, though the episode does start out with Alex, Josh, and Bridget going out for like some family Friday night sort of thing, and Josh is like he drinks a glow stick, and I'm a little bit worried because his daughter's gonna get sick. So Bridget and Alex drop him off, and then he's like, "Thanks for pretending I got time to go to a concert, guys." What a rush! And as I predicted, he got sick and he threw up. Poor guy. But now we go to the real focus of the episode. Candace is watching unboxing videos on her tablet, and Josh wants to spend time with his daughter. But she seems so into the technology world that she's not really able to really see the reality of the real world. Doesn't want to do stuff with her dad. I think this is kind of a real life situation. When you give tablets to toddlers and kids, they don't really pay attention to you anymore because they got their own thing to do, or unless the battery has to charge, or you take them out to go somewhere. That's the only thing where they're actually going to like be having fun with you and stuff. But Josh tries to get Candace to do stuff with him, like with the fun stuff he has, like a Teddy Ruxpin, which the doll it ignites on fire, and then he gives her like Simon, and she gets bored by it. A Magic 8 Ball, that thing didn't really last, so when Emily is putting stuff in for donation, Josh sees his old skateboard and he wants to teach Candace how to skate, because his dad was not the best dad for Josh. I don't like that his dad just left him inside the store and was just inside the car pointing at his watch and beeping the horn. That was a little bit mean-spirited, but Josh wants to prove to his daughter that he's a much better dad than his dad ever was. So when they go in the skate shop, they see that it looks like more like an Apple store than anything, but there is like a ramp inside, and Josh asks this guy that he wants to have like a deck, a skateboard, and so he redirects him to the Goosh, who is like skateboarding in the store, and helps out parents and Candace. Candace befriends the Goosh, and Josh kind of gets a little bit jealous and just wants to get the board. Candace chooses out a satanic board, and before I say anything, I am a Protestant, and when I first saw that, it kind of scared me, but then when I heard the backwards message, I was like, oh, yeah, it's reminding me, alright. The backwards message is, buy regular show DVDs. I'm not kidding, that is literally the message that the skateboard says. So when Candace is skateboarding, she wants Josh to teach her how, but he accidentally hurts his private part with the skateboard and is taken to the hospital, and now he has to ice it. He has like a metal part on it now, and although he says it hurts him even more to not be out there with his daughter teaching him all this stuff. The pain pills kick in and he like falls asleep, and I like that he has this dream, and I hear like JG's voice in the background saying, "Skate Dad, Skate Dad." Oh gosh. And then Josh, I'm sorry, I cannot tell Josh and JG apart. They're literally the same character. Josh doesn't have any clothes on except that metal part on his private part, and he's skating in the sky. It's like he's flying. I'm like, Josh, you're flying. This was part of the Meet Josh trailer, and I'm like, oh, that's where this is from. I'm like instantly loving this episode. And he kind of gets revenge on the Goosh because he hurt himself and like would only do something a jealous person would do. And while he's sleeping, he says, "You suck." But he is shocked when he realizes that Emily took Candace skating and the Goosh is teaching her how. And she calls him Papa Goosh, which really makes him jealous because Emily is out there doing it too. And he decides that he wants to settle this on Baxter Street. It's this, I think it's this tall road, like when you're going down. It's like it's really far away. He just wants to prove to Candace that he's a better father, and he's going to extreme lengths despite him being in pain. Although he does tell the Goosh this, the Goosh understands and lets him like do his thing. Because Candace is rolling down really fast. He rescues her and he rescues his wife, and they're about to like hit the Vaughn's truck. He has to go like slide underneath. I hear like the metal clanging, so that means he's really hurt. His butt is on fire. He goes out off the rail and then he lands in the pool. And he's happy to see that his daughter's there watching him. And the Goosh is saying he's not a skate dad, he's a skate father. I really love Skate Dad because I love the message at the end. It's just really wholesome and it's really sweet. I mean, it's kind of sad that the Goosh dad was never there for him either, and that he's happy to see that Josh is trying to be the better father for Candace. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Happy Feet 2 for a reason, which is a good thing. Where Eric looks up to Seven instead of Mumble, but Mumble was always there for his son, proving that he was the better father figure than Seven ever was. But in this case, the Goosh was actually a really good person, kind and understanding, which is what I really love. Now, I already did a review of 100% No Stress Days, so I'm gonna have to put this in there the best way I can. Either way, I love Close Enough. It's a really good show. I love the Easter eggs and references. Don't worry, there's going to be so much in here. If you think this is all, I'm going to be compiling all the Close Enough reviews that I've done from my first watching of the series. Ending with the canine guy. I'm going to have to wait until my energy is restored and I'm not that tired anymore, because you could tell by my voice I'm just out of it. I'm really tired, and I don't think I have the energy to do the other episodes right now, but when I do, just remember that Close Enough is close enough, and laters. Just a heads up, people, I reviewed 100% No Stress Day when I got the link. This was before HBO Max released Close Enough, and this was my first review of the episode. I don't know if it aged well, but I did my best. Enjoy! Alright, I want to review this episode because I've been waiting to review this. The first minute I saw the episode, I'm like, I want to review this, but, you know, I got animation to work on with regular life. So, let me talk about this episode. 100% No Stress Day. The episode starts off with Emily at the doctor's because she thinks there's something wrong with her. The doctor says, has she been stressed? And there are some scenarios where it could have led to her being stressed out, but she denies this. And then we get the intro to Close Enough. I love the animation and stuff. Like, it feels like it's like 3D or 2D, whatever. But I just like it. It's really cool. Anyways, then we go to the start of the episode. The guy whom I really wanted to know the name of, you know that J.G. Quintal guy? The guy where I keep saying J.G. Quintal guy or Quintal hair? He's got a name. His name is Josh, and he's a game tester. So he, Alex, Bridget, and Candace are beta testing his new game, Ladder World. That's how he says it. All you gotta do is climb ladders, but little did Josh know that there's a glitch in the game which accidentally gets Alex. And then there's this large head that's about to devour him. I think Bridget said some guy from Waterworld or something. And just when they're about to get eaten, I mean, it doesn't really happen because it's virtual reality. But they don't really, they seem pretty fazed by it. Emily comes back and she says that there's nothing wrong with her, but they're like, are you sure about that? She actually hits a photo frame, which makes her hand bleed a little bit, but it disappears anyway. Josh asks her maybe if she ate something first she could feel better, but there's no food and there's no emergency ham, earthquake ham, whatever that is. Emily's starting to get really stressed out. Where's her to-do list? Oh, there it is. But Josh is like, he'll take care of it for her, but she's like, no. He does say he'll put 100% of his mind to it, and then his brain is like all static or whatever. Though Emily's recent fortune cookie did tell her to trust Josh more, Bridget decides to let Emily take a stress-free day, take her out, do stuff. Stress is her middle name. She had it legally changed while she was high. Oh, really? Keep in mind that that's actually part of the plot. Smoking weed is actually part of the plot. It's not just a gag. So, props to Close Enough on that one. They actually made it work. It's very relatable, because when people get stressed out, they turn to weed as their saver, I guess. So, Josh, Alex, and Candace go to the store. They're blazing through the list. And then the last thing that they need to do is get an earthquake ham. But there's a ham shortage by these ham theft guys at some factory. And then there's these stripper clowns that are out to get Alex because apparently he lost a bet and now he owes them $3,000, all because he betted them that they wouldn't make a giraffe. It was a dog until the balloon thing its neck went up, made a giraffe. He owes them money. So they run away. They go to the meat factory. Then we get to Bridget and Emily. She gets Emily high, and then they're going doing all this stuff with the song. There's like a song that plays in the background. What's its name? I think I know the name. Hold on a second. I think it's Gotta Stay Fly by Mafia something. Is that what it is? Let's see. Okay, here it is. I Gotta Stay Fly by 3-6 Mafia. There it is. Alright, that's the one. So yeah, the weed starts to kick in, and then Emily sings some weird stuff. Then she bumps into Candace's teacher. She's like kind of scared at that point. After that, we go to Josh, Alex, and Candace, who all go to the meat factory. They are horrified to see what's in the meat that's being turned into hot dogs, which is absolutely disgusting. They get caught. Candace gets taken to a Michelin daycare center, and Josh and Alex are about to be grinded up into meat. But then Josh has his brain blast idea and uses the teeth from roadkill to cut the rope, because apparently they're tied up, and they escape. They get out of there. So back at that jazzy place, because that's where Emily and Bridget are now, Emily's a little bit freaked out because she's worried that the teacher will realize that she's high, but when he's actually doing it, she freaks out even more and accidentally punches him. That's not good. Really not good. Josh and Alex get ham shote from the freezer. They rescue Candace and they get out of there. Like, a car chase is going on. We cut back to Emily saying that she's trying to be a good mom, but feminism and all this stuff. And then the teacher's like, you're doing a great job, but you need to take time off for yourself and find something. And so Emily tries to do that with a fidget spinner. And don't get me started with that Fahrenheit, because I didn't like that in the introduction trailer for Emily. It always scared me, and it still scares me even to this day. She's like breaking stuff inside some stress manager thing. Keep in mind, all this is going on when there's a car chase. The car chase going on. Then after that, the stripper clowns find them. They're cornered. Josh has another brain blast idea. He bets all their lives in a game of Ladder World. Everybody's playing it. Like, Emily comes back. She sees that they're all playing the game. Alex lost, so now she has to take his place. She's about to fall off the ladder, but then Josh comes to the rescue riding that Waterworld big head. And then Emily wins. She wins. She de-stresses. Those bad guys leave. And then she's she tells the gang that she's not stressed anymore. Video games are her de-stress. Bridget comes back and she says she's been talking to the hottest guy out there, and then which is actually a stripper clown. And the stripper clown's like, he's like, anybody want to see me make a brontosaurus? And then Josh and Alex are like, no, do not let him do that. I know the reason. Candace, please don't say yes. She did, but the father's like, no, don't do that. And that was 100% no stress day. I actually love this episode. At first I was a little hesitant because this is a adult cartoon, and the only adult cartoon I watched is home movies. This actually I was really loving this show. I loved it. I love the episode. I love the characters. I love the jokes. Smoking weed is part of the plot. It's not just a gag. They made it work. It's actually really relatable. That when people are stressed out, they need to go find their thing. And just like me, when I get stressed out, I play video games. Same thing with Emily. She played Ladder World. She's not stressed anymore. I wish she played like a fighting game or something, but other than that, I guess that works. If I want to be honest, I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10. The pacing is good. It feels like a regular show episode, judging that it's made by the same people that made regular show. I mean, J.J. Quintel, Mark Mothersbaugh. Like, I know a crew of people from regular show worked on this. I could see it. I see the creative flair. They took that creative flair that was from regular show and mashed it into Close Enough and made it work. Like, I really love it. I just really, really love it. And I love Josh. He's my favorite character. Now, to be fair, Josh was actually my favorite character from the very start of the trailer when it was first announced for TBS. Now, what kind of gets me a little upset is that maybe they should have changed the intro. I don't like that it says TBS Presents because it's not on TBS. I know it was supposed to be on TBS until they decided to shelve it, and now it's on HBO Max. It's just going to be a little bit confusing, but it's probably going to solve the mystery that it was going to be on TBS, but not anymore. It found its new home on HBO Max. That's the only nitpick that I have. I don't have no problem with the jokes or anything like that. I don't have a problem with the pacing. I don't have a problem with the characters. It's all 100% good. Maybe when later seasons happen, it's going to say HBO Max Presents, or they're just going to ditch that thing altogether. Either way, that's one episode down, and I can't wait for the next episode to come out.